What's going on, YouTube? Ledger here once again, this time at you again with some more Honkai Star Rail. And guys, I think I made a mistake. I think I messed up. And it's not a common mistake. It's not a typical mistake you would think about. I think I messed up with Acheron because she is too strong. She is outrageous. She is absolutely unreal. And the reason why I say this is that I pulled for Acheron E2S1, okay? Now I thought, okay, this is gonna be great, you know, it's gonna be pretty fun. She's gonna be able to do some big numbers and everything like that. But guys, this might be too big here. This might be too big.
It's so big.
And also, I want to get this out of the way too. Before I get into this, for everybody, all the people that were doom posting Acheron before she came, right? Saying, oh, Jingliu's gonna be stronger, or the people who say, oh, she's useless without her signature light cone. I want you guys to get up, go look in the mirror, right? Go tell yourself, what the hell is wrong with me? Why would I say such bullshit and think it was okay? And I want you to do better. I want you to do better, not do that again. When Bull Hill comes and you say he's trash, stop yourself right now. Be like, no, I need to calm down. When Robin comes and you say that she's trash, stop yourself right there. Don't say that. Do better. Do better. But back to this here, right? I pulled for her and her strength has just been outrageous. Now, I'm going to show you this clip here. Now we have this clip of Acheron under previous Abyss, and she is doing her thing, right? This is a zero cycle, by the way. This is a zero cycle. And let me just show you what exactly she's pulling off here. 1 million damage against 3 enemies. 1 million damage against 3 enemies, okay? That's outrageous. That is absolutely outrageous. Before that, who was coming close to that damage? The most damage I can really squeeze out of a Jingliu against 3 enemies was about like maybe 500,000 damage, right? And that's with high investment. I feel like I have a pretty well-built Jingliu. Now, one thing I just want to update, looks like sometimes I'm the one that needs to do better, all right? Because I definitely downplayed Jingliu a little bit too much because in some of my Acheron showcases, I didn't have I had to use well sustained basically to essentially using no sustain to try and buff Acheron's damage as much as possible. But I didn't really do the same for Jingliu. And when doing the same for Jingliu, Acheron is still stronger, but Jingliu is blown out the water as I made it seem. So just wanted to put that out. And we look at this right here. Look at this situation right here. Now this is the same situation, but now this is 5 enemies, right? 5 enemies. She's buffed up. The enemies have their debuffs on. You know, we're good to go. And $1.48 million damage. That's damn near 1.5 million. 1.5 million damage against 5 enemies. That is outrageous. I mean, keep in mind, to be fair, when it comes to Jingliu, she is going to do her burst and then her skill, which deals similar damage, of course, but it ain't, even when you calculate that, that's still twice as much damage, right? Like, what are we doing here? What are we talking about here? And you might think, oh, hey, well, you pulled E2S1. What do you expect? That's what she's supposed to do. If you spend money to get Eidolons, you know, and I didn't spend that much because I got pretty lucky. Not bragging, I am bragging, but whatever. But you say, oh, well, you pulled for E2S1, what do you expect? But here's the thing, guys. That was E0. I didn't activate the Eidolons yet. That was E0 damage. That's, what? You know, that's crazy. That's crazy talk. I mean, let's also be real here too. My Sparkle is E2S1. So when using Sparkle E0, the damage does go down a bit, maybe by about like, I don't know, maybe 20-30%. I'm just throwing a number out there, but it's still clearing 1 million. You know, it's still clearing 1 million, you know, without a doubt. The reason I bring this up is that she might be too strong to the point where it's like, she might trivialize the content a little bit too much. Now, I brought this up previously when talking about right before Dan Hong IL came out. And I said, hey, he scares me. He might be too strong, right? Because the content that we have does not require that much strength. Sealy was more than enough to wipe out all the content in the game. Genuine was more than enough. Blade, Kafka, they were more than enough to take out Kafka without Black Swan, mind you, was more than enough to take out all the content in the game. So I was thinking, oh man, if we're gonna get somebody that's that strong, I don't want this game to be too easy, right? Because mind you, this game is fairly simple, but it could end up becoming too easy. But I'll tell you right now, the day after I made that video, they released Swarm Disaster, right? And Swarm Disaster brought the difficulty right up there. Like, oh, okay, there we go. We got it. All right. We might have that challenge I'm looking for. And then since then, after Ron May came out, after we got Jing Liu and stuff, then we started getting more floors on MOC. We got another end game mode in Pure Fiction to add some more versatility. So they did prove that they will up the game's difficulty. But now I'm like, well, what are they going to do to add difficulty to challenge Acheron? And if they add that, what are the other DPS going to do? You know, I'm sure Jingli will be able to keep up, but like, I'm sure Don Hong with Sparkle is going to be able to keep up. But I feel like a lot of other DPS will struggle if they up the difficulty to challenge Acheron, right? So are they going to just leave it so Acheron is just a step above the rest, and that's how they're just going to make Emanators, where it's just Emanators come along and just destroy everything, you know? Because it's almost reminds me of when it comes to Archons and Genshin and how they worked, where the Archons were just a step above the rest. But the thing is, in Genshin, they're supports, right? And so it's not like they're the one doing the damage, where Acheron, she's the one doing the damage. And she kind of makes other DPSs seem kind of unnecessary in a lot of situations, you know? Which for some, it can be a freedom of choice type of thing. But for others, it could just be like, well, what's the point? What's the point of me going for it, you know? So it makes me curious of what they're going to do to kind of mitigate that. And I think they should do something to kind of mitigate that, to keep the challenge up in the game. Because the game isn't that hard or anything like that, but I do want it to be mildly challenging at the very least. And just to give you an idea of what the Eidolon does. So if we look at similar situations here, right, now this is E2 now against Yang Qing. Now it's not the same enemies. I don't think I recorded against the same enemies. If you look how it goes against Yang Qing, $1.9 million against 5 enemies. Guys, I'm telling you right now, this is a huge spike in damage output, right? So I don't know. I'm kind of making this a kind of, well, one, to kind of just show off what my Acheron can do. If you guys want to see her build, let's take a look here. Her build right. This is her current build right here. She's E2, of course, so she gets a lot of crit rate. She actually gets, whenever all the buffs are in and everything with Fu Xuan and everything, she actually is at 100% crit rate on the dot. So, ooh, you know, because she gets the 8 crit rate from here. She gets the extra, 4 crit rate when this is going into play. This set right here, and then I got, different relics and yada yada, so on and so forth. Yeah, she's looking kind of fine there. Mind you, I don't resin refresh. I just use fuel, so that I feel like that helps out too. I don't wail when it comes to refreshing my Trailblazer power. S1 doing good there, right? But yeah, so yeah, part of it is to get me. It was just kind of an excuse to show off, but also too, it did actually get me thinking, a little worried that what are we going to do to balance things out dealing with a character this powerful, right? Because what happens when the other DPSs come out? Because I don't think Bull Hill's going to be just as strong. I don't think Sam is going to be just as strong. I don't think these characters are going to be on par with Acheron. So, I mean, granted, I still think people will summon for those characters simply because they like them in terms of actual gameplay, you know, what's the point of getting anybody else if Acheron is always going to be the strongest? So yeah, so I'd say get ready for some power creep, you know, get ready for some harder content, maybe, because Acheron is a sign of what is to come, okay? But yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of Acheron's strength? How do you think it affects the game? What do you think is coming out in the future? Do you think we're going to get harder content? Do you think we're going to keep the same content that we have for a while? What do you think is coming? And yeah, so let me know in the comments down below. Like the video if you like the content I do give you, and subscribe to the channel so you can get more content like this. And with that, I'll end it here. Legend out.